Today we're going to have some from Marcus Aurelius. We're going to have some from Seneca. We're going to have some from Epictetus. But number one, we have here, external things are not the problem. It's your assessment of them, which you can erase right now. So, one of the most common things that I think traders experience once you've been in the game a little bit is that you're not making money fast enough. Like that, it's just not happening at the time that you want it to. So there's a few ways to look at this. Okay, that means I need to get my strategy better. I need to get my entries or better. Usually is what people think about. Or maybe if you're more mature, you start focusing on your exits or your trade management, etc. But the problem isn't that you're not making enough money or that it's not happening on your time, right? That's on the outside. It's the fact that it doesn't even need to be a problem. Who said that this timeline that you're on is even a problem in the first place, right? So this problem is actually self-created. This is something where we at some point decided whatever timeline we were at with our results, but where does that assessment even come from? Where does that decision come from? Did you tell yourself you needed to make money by a certain time and place? Why that time? Why that amount? So what's the purpose behind those things? So it's our assessment of our problems. It's how and where we get to these issues. And a lot of these things we can just eliminate. But you have to realize it's usually a self-created problem. So think of another problem. For example, common issue here for traders is you're losing more than usual, or you're just on a losing streak, right? In general, like you feel like you're not progressing. Okay, that can be a problem if you're like, oh, like the market's against me, or I'm just not figuring this out. Okay, but again, what is the issue there is that we're basically not having any sense of ownership over this type of issue. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm losing so much. Like, should I even keep doing this? But is that really the problem? Or is it that you just want this to work now? Is it that, again, are your expectations a part of the idea? And that's why I think just a core principle as a trader, like every single trader, just having this characteristic will go way further than it's just detachment. It's almost like when you actually stop caring about things out of your control, and for example, the timing of results, which is I think is such a big one. When you actually kind of let go of it and you just do all of the things you need to do, then because you're no longer getting in your own way, then this usually works at a better efficiency, and it's also less painful. It's less stressful because now you're not so much focused on, okay, what am I getting out of this? So it's purely just on what am I putting into this. And then same thing. So anytime you start to feel some sort of emotion, some sort of frustration, whether just kind of a lower frequency emotion, the first thing you want to do is think about, can I not outcomes, not outside of me, but can I change the way I look at this so this isn't even a problem anymore? So the first thing is perception, in my opinion. If you can leverage perception first, then what might look like a problem or feel like a problem, you realize, what, this actually wasn't a problem at ever. I created this problem. It wasn't that a problem came to me, it's I created it. So something to think about, because that gives longevity. That allows you to improve, that gives you space and time to take on challenges instead of problems. I remember I was in an Uber years ago. It might have been like, this might have been like my first few months in trading. And I remember I was in an Uber with like he was from the Caribbean for sure. I think he was Jamaican. And it was like within the first like 3 minutes of the conversation, he's like, oh, like, I wish I had a good accent, but basically he's just like, oh no, there's no problems, like we don't have problems. I was like, what? He's like, there's no problems, there's just challenges. There's just challenges. So use your imagination. Think of an awesome Jamaican accent, and that's really what it was. And I'm like, I guess that's a good point. Like, problems and challenges, you have such a different take on how you approach things, right? When something's a problem, I feel like there's a stronger negative emotion. But when something's a challenge, you know it can be, you know you can win, right? And your expectations toward it are it's going to be difficult, but I will be able to improve. I will be able to get to the other side of it. And that's how I think we can look at trading. Like different aspects of your system, they're just different types of challenges. And if you look at it like that, I think our overall attitude is going to be beneficial to us in the first place. So let me know, guys, if applying this, do you feel like it will be helpful to you? Drop a comment. Okay, I got a couple more for you. Today I wanted to dive a bit deeper into some of these and dissect them more and how these can apply than have too many. So we have like 4 or 5 today. But here's a different one. This is from Seneca. I judge you unfortunate because you have never lived through misfortune. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you. So again, we're continuing on this perspective with problems and challenges. And I'm going to read this one more time because I think it's really valuable. But I judge you unfortunate because you have never lived through misfortune. So clever. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you're capable of, not even you. So, and I love this philosophy. I think for me, it works so well. I think it is something I relate to a lot, where I'm almost seeking challenge, the certain level of difficulty, because I think there's a certain point where once you've done something enough, and it's like, okay, you know you can do something. You know, it's like I love there's another concept where it's like amateurs practice until they can do it once. Professionals do it until they can't not do it. And so I think once you're at that point where you know, okay, I can do this really well, instead of staying there, then it's like, okay, how do I improve? Or in general, it's like if you're struggling with something or you know something's difficult, then in reality, either you can sit in, oh, this is so hard, it's so difficult, you know, why even bother? Should I just give up? But so that's one take. Or you realize like getting to the other side of this will level me up as a person, as a trader, whatever. Once I can complete this, when I get to the other side of this, once I figure this out, there's skill sets go up, right? Your tolerance of difficulty goes up, right? Your ability to endure goes up. So now just you've earned another another ring in difficulty. Like you've earned that. Now you know, okay, I've done something this hard. I've completed something at this level. So this shows me like if I can do this now, I can do this again. And that might relate to whether it's making money, whether it's just skill wise, but it's like, okay, instead of looking at all these difficulties and it like you can embrace them. It's like a silver lining approach, which for me in my experience has just been so useful. Like anything that could quote unquote go wrong or how you didn't see, it's not how you saw things going. You can basically again use perception to realize, okay, this now, you know, getting through this or you know growing through it, you learn how to look at things differently. You learn how to endure more. So as traders, it's gonna happen this way. Like for example, March of 2023, I had a losing streak, or it was losing and break evens, but it was a lot of trades that I didn't get the win, or I didn't get that positive risk to reward, and I realized like wow, like this now kind of gave me an insight on how to prepare for a losing streak of this magnitude. And it was like, I think it was like 10 or 11 trades without winning. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 losing trades and then, you know, another 5 or 6 break evens. And so I was like, okay, cool. I could either, you know, be kind of upset about this, or I can realize in order to go through this, in order to, keep the trading accounts flowing positively, I need to be prepared for something like this as well. So in terms of, instead of being a victim to a losing streak or something like that, it's realizing, okay, actually, I just gained insight on something I didn't think would happen anymore, and I just realized you have no control over how things are going to go sometimes. So you can go on a crazy win streak, but also you have to be ready for the other side of that coin. And so you can really approach this. Sometimes people say like, oh, like life is unfair to me, and I go through this and this and this and this. One, if you're having the same outcomes that are negative or they don't benefit you, then you're the problem. Just to be honest, like if you're having the same outcomes that don't favor you, you are 100% the solution. Cool. But let's say just your life is just designed in a way where you realize like, man, how did this crazy unexpected misfortunes happen? In reality, you can choose to look at it like, let's say you get your account blown because of slippage. Unfortunate. You deposited money into a broker disappears. Sucks. You had maybe you had prop firm accounts and they're gone now. Sucks. But what is that all getting you ready for? Oh, well, if your broker disappears, guess what? It's teaching you how to research better so that you're more prepared to have your money in the right place. How to be more, specific, how to do better research, how to care for your money more properly. Cool. If you're whatever you had prop firm accounts and they're now gone, awesome. Same thing. Hey, what if you looked at other sides of the coin? What if you realized, everything is a business. How vulnerable are those businesses as well? Should I have done more research? Should I not have been cheap and just put my money with the most discounted firm? Right. Okay. What is this teaching me? Oh, I blew an account through slippage. Wow. Okay. I didn't even know slippage was a thing. All right. Well, I guess before I put money into this or I start trading this certain way, maybe I should learn about the unexpected. Right. Volatility. And why is it that I traded through news and this news event just blew my account? Did the news event blow your account, or was it that you just weren't prepared for high impact news? You hadn't traded certain things, and now it's like this is the event that is actually giving you clarity, it's giving you experience, it's giving you perspective that sometimes you just don't earn unless you go through quote unquote misfortune. So it all really comes down through perception at the end of the day, which is what I think a lot of stoicism is teaching you is how can you use one of your higher faculties like perception to approach the game in a way that serves you no matter what. And that's how I look at this. I look at every single possible outcome in trading as something that is serving me regardless. If I feel like it's not, it's because I'm not looking at it through the proper lens yet. And you just have to find it. Here's another one for you guys. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. And you can substitute anger for a lot of things. The greatest remedy for frustration, delay, sadness, delay, a lot of different, almost any emotion you can use this for. And I share this one with you because a lot of the negative side effects to trading usually come after you lose control because of an impulse. So let's say something out of the ordinary happened, or you lose and you feel like the emotion is brewing. The best thing you can do is nothing. So think about this. Okay, what if I just didn't react? What if I just did nothing? Like you feel yourself boiling up a little bit, you lost. Maybe you lost more than what you were supposed to lose. Maybe you actually already made a trading mistake and you entered again, you were impulsive. But what you don't want is the domino effect. So the greatest remedy for anger is delay. So just take yourself out of the equation. For me, if I lose once, twice, whether it's in a day or in a week, I don't take myself out of the market. The only time I take myself out of the market is if I have emotional decisions. If there's decisions that are made based off of emotions, then I am out of the market. Like I'm done, straight to the gym. Right? Straight but to be honest, that doesn't really happen to me. But if it would now in this stage of my I would know what to do. But for some of you, you just haven't experienced what I've experienced yet, which is 100% okay. My only advantage, guys, really is I just been here longer. To be honest, that's really it. So what I had to learn, and shout out to my dad for this one actually too, because and my brother will tell you the same thing. He was a master at creating an angry environment for us, like triggered, like all day, every day. But he was teaching us a lesson, which was that he wasn't getting us angry. We were choosing to be angry. And it took me years. I don't know why he didn't just straight up say what the lesson was, but whatever. But nothing gets you angry. Nothing gets you upset. You choose the emotion because that's what we have. So someone can do something that you don't like. The market can take your money, but you choose to enter again. You choose to be upset about the situation. So just some perspective for you guys as you approach this. So if you're ever feeling some type of way, just what if you gave yourself a few more minutes to just do nothing? All right, and I think this is the last one for today. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. How does this apply to your trading? Guys, your account should not be dependent on one trade. Like your account shouldn't be you hoping that this trade works out. This is where things get dangerous. If you start to, if it's interesting, and I said this maybe a month or two ago. I think Lindsay or Abby, I think one of you guys had this written down. So if you do have the exact phrasing that I said, send it back to me. And shout out to all the consistent people on these streams. Y'all are the ones that are getting paid heavy now. So shout out to y'all. But I said, look, one trade should be basically completely irrelevant, but the compound of the trades are the ones that really matter. So don't think in the outcome of one trade, just think in the outcome of 25, right? So the outcomes don't really matter. It's like every trade is almost irrelevant. The outcome of the trade is irrelevant. How you approach it obviously is what matters. So if your account is dependent on one trade working out or one trade just not completely defeating you, then it is what it is. And this is kind of the downside, and don't be fooled by people that have extremely high win rates, because what you don't know is, well, what will a one loss be like for them? Actually, I just saw this happen, and I knew this was going to happen, and it's unfortunate, but I just saw a guy who built out a massive audience. He would trade live, but his exits would be like 10 points, and his stops would be like 400. So his win rate was like, he would win all the time. And this is how he would market himself, like haven't lost in 50 days, 100 days, or whatever. Okay, which is cool, and that's great. But how big is the loss going to be when it does happen? How much is that going to take away from your account? So whether it's a massive, just a really wide stop loss, or it's a big lot size, a big contract size. So what you don't want is that, right? Same thing if you're as an investor. If you are banking on one meme coin to do it all, could it work out? It could. But you just have to understand, like, is everything really reliant on this one thing? Should it be? I think that skills is one thing, but for something out of your control to have to work out, dangerous. So a ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. And you can approach this also on a financial aspect. Like, yes, can trading do great things for you? Absolutely. But should you have trading be like should trading's outcomes, should what you get paid for this week, like do you have to get paid this week to survive? If that's how your trading is set up right now, you're going to struggle, and it's probably not going to go in your favor. But that's why building a strong foundation, building up a solid trading account size, having a very disciplined and intentional system, all of these things position you to be in a good place. Right? Having that peace of mind fund, having a few months of expenses just put aside so that you can approach something like this. That now you're not depending on one anchor for your ship. Right now, it's not like, all right, we better hit some trades this week, otherwise we're screwed. No, it's actually, I can just do what I've been doing with no time pressure. Because remember, if time is not on your side, you're gonna make mistakes. Trading, how you approach trading, time is with you or against you, but it's all based on your approach. If you have a detached approach, then time is on your side, and it's your best friend. If you have an attached approach, if things need to happen by certain times, then now time is your enemy, and it will lead for you to make mistakes. Or by the time that you need things to happen, guess what? That's not in your control. So I'll leave you guys with this one. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. Now, the most important thing is the following. Oh, here was the quote. Today's trade is not for today. It's for the overall tally. Banger. And think about, how can I implement one thing from each of these quotes, right? What can I do differently, or what can I eliminate from how I look at life or how I trade that will allow these philosophies to play out?